I'm here with Frank Warren ahead of the 9th of May cash at Wembley at SSE Arena. Nice to see you, Frank.
Good to see you as well.
Just a quickie, this boxing game never seems to get any easier with the pull-outs, does it? I mean, you know, Spike O'Sullivan pulling out of the fight.
Well, we never signed a contract, so he wasn't in. We talked about it, we agreed terms for the fight, and the problem was the option should he win, rematch clauses and so forth, but it was the money and the terms. So unfortunately, you know, we couldn't agree, we couldn't even get halfway to what they were asking for, and that was it. And sort of a good fight went out the window, and we moved on to somebody else.
This business doesn't seem to get much easier though, does it?
No, it doesn't, but you know, it's the business we're in, and as we always say, it is what it is. We're in the business trying to deliver good fights. You know, Chris Eubank's last few fights have been really good fights on my promotions, as has Bill's, and the Spike O'Sullivan fight I think would have been a good fight for the fans, but so it's gone. So we move on, and we're now in, we now got another guy in.
So Chris has this fight against Les Sherrington on Wembley on the 9th. Billy has a fight which you're going to be announcing later, the opponent for on the 9th. And then, with a bit of luck, they both come through those fights. And then we're talking about, we've just been through a very interesting press conference. And is that rematch going to happen? Should they both be victorious?
I'm quite sure it's going to happen. It's a massive fight here. It's a fight that the fans want to see. I know Bill would like to do it anyway because he's a fighting man, and obviously Christopher is seeking revenge for the loss against Bill. So yes, that's the game we're in, and the name of the game is to deliver the big fights. But you remember, Bill's also in a position where he's the mandatory to winner of Andy Lee and Peter Quillen, which takes place in the States on the 11th of April. So that's an interesting scenario. And again, as far as Bill's concerned, he's got some options there. And as he said at the press conference, it's about having that win and the doors it's opened for him. It has opened quite a few doors for him.
And I presume it goes without saying, but let's ask anyway, that the winner of Lee and Quillen, Billy fights, and it's obvious that I think the fans would prefer the Lee, and you would prefer Andy Lee?
I would prefer Andy Lee because obviously it's an Irish guy and a Brit, they're travellers. So there'll be a lot in their community, there'll be quite a big rivalry. I just think that's a huge fight. I think it's another big fight, and I think it's a fight that we could put on in a soccer stadium. So, as I say, Bill's got some great options there. Quinlan's a tough fight for him. It's probably the fact he's in the States, he might have a slight advantage, but I don't think there's a lot in it. And I think that, we know that, Andy's got the equaliser. We know if he hits you on the chin, he's going to knock you out. And we know that Quinlan's not a bad puncher, but Quinlan under pressure may be a different fighter than people think he is. And,
we haven't seen a lot of that.
Exactly, and I think that with Andy, is if he can put that pressure on him, and give him sustained pressure, and then we'll see where the guy's heart is.
Obviously, Box Nation are delivering us a lot of good shows at the moment. And there's going to be other fights on this card apart from just Chris Eubank and Billy Joe. Any other highlights for the?
Yeah, we're just looking to finalise Frank Buglioni's fight. He'll be in a decent fight, and hopefully he'll come through that, and he's going to be looking for certainly some by the end of the year to be holding a recognisable and a significant belt. Bradley Skeet's got himself back in the game. I think he learned a lot from that Frankie Gavin fight. Although he lost it, and it was a very close fight, I think he came out of that with a lot of credit, and I think he showed that he deserved to be there at that level, and I think he'll go on and become a better fighter, and obviously got quite a few other youngsters on there. And really what we've done, this is a decent little show at Wembley. I'm sure it'll do well, but for Bill it's a bit of a marking time fight. He's supposed to fight on the 11th of April on that undercard, had the injury, so he couldn't train, and that was pushed back. But I can't have him out of the ring and not being ring fit for when he fights the winner of those or has the rematch with Chris Eubank.